Kadang adik atau bapak tanya kenapa tidak dapat ikan. Saya hanya bisa menjawab mungkin belum mujur.
It's a humble catch. It'll be enough to feed the family. For now.
Kadang kalau kelebihan, saya menjualnya untuk menambah tabungan saya. Punya celengan kecil untuk menabung, disimpan dalam kampung. Untuk meraih cita-cita nanti.
Across Asia, the daily struggle to survive and adapt in the face of rising global temperatures is only set to get worse. Alongside the fight to cut global emissions, these people's survival depends more than ever before on new ideas.
There are no ready solutions to this, especially for developing societies. And this requires innovation.
और हमारा उद्देश्य भी रहता है कि हम टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट के साथ मिलकर और उसका एक अच्छा समाधान निकालकर और बहनों तक पहुंचाएं.
And preparing the next generation for the challenges that lie ahead.
But at times when we have to deal with the heat, then we have to approach the fight, not flight, but fight.
Barang itu bisa dicuri oleh sesama, sedangkan kalau kita punya ilmu di otak dan pikiran kita, itu bisa diamalkan dan bisa dipergunakan untuk hidup dan masa depan. Saya harap Aprianus bisanya sesuai cita-cita yang diharap.
For these people, the longest day will begin again tomorrow and the next, as they continue to live their lives on the front lines of climate change.
Forward to brighter skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
In 1977, we took air travel to a whole new level when it comes to exclusivity.
4 Singaporeans go back in time to search for more answers from Singapore's past.
What was the experience on the Concorde like?
The pilots can actually see the curvature of the Earth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
From tracking down a legendary white crocodile.
We have here the only mention of white crocodile, Buaya Putih, in the Straits of Singapore.
There's this element of, what's the truth there?
To uncovering what used to lie under an iconic building.
This great building here is very curious.
what we're looking at is the full extent of Kampung Glam, actually.
What else lies forgotten in the vault of time?
In the early days, you could just walk into a shop and buy a gun.
Wait, so back then, people could keep guns at home?
Oh, we had guns at home. My father was a gun owner.
Into the Vault 3, premiering 5th May, Wednesday on CNA.
Malaysia is seeing what many are calling a new dawn. There's a sense of anticipation, a hope of change for the better. I'm here to make sense of these changes taking place and bring you stories from a country that's charting a new direction for its future.
This is Asia Now.
It's 11 a.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 8:30 New Delhi and 10 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Nok Hui Su at this hour. A crisis that is beyond heartbreaking. The WHO chief promises full assistance to India as COVID-19 stretches the health system there to breaking point. And scrambling to protect those who are uninfected. While vaccine doses are running short in India, the US lifts a ban on the materials needed to make the jabs and agrees to share vaccines, although it's uncertain what portion New Delhi will secure. Civil unrest rages in Myanmar, at least one person shot dead as violence continues despite military leaders promising over the weekend to hold back. Or near the Thai border, Karen forces claim victory over an army outpost. The chief of the World Health Organization has called the crisis in India beyond heartbreaking. He says the UN Health Agency is doing all it can to assist.
Many countries are still experiencing intense transmission, and the situation in India is beyond heartbreaking. WHO is doing everything we can, providing critical equipment and supplies, including thousands of oxygen concentrators, prefabricated mobile field hospitals and laboratory supplies.
Others have also offered help to India, as reported record deaths of more than 2,800 yesterday, with new infections staying above 300,000 for a fifth straight day. Countries including Singapore, the UK, Germany and France have sent or pledged help. Washington says it will share up to 60 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine with the world, although it's unclear how much India will get off that. The Pentagon, meanwhile, says it's coordinating with New Delhi on what help is needed.
The department is working closely with other U.S. agencies to rapidly deploy oxygen-related equipment, rapid testing kits, personal protective equipment, and other essential materials to our Indian partners. We are also in close communication with the government of India to ensure that we are providing India's frontline healthcare workers with any support we can offer within our authority.
In India, the head of the country's COVID-19 task force is recommending that people wear masks at home. Dr. V.K. Paul also urged people not to invite guests to their homes.
टाइम आ गया है कि घर में हम वैसे ही अब मास्क पहनना शुरू करें। हम बाहर की बात करते थे, लेकिन संक्रमण जैसे है ज़्यादा है तो घर में भी बाई चांस किसी को आ गया है तो जहाँ तक हो गए घर में भी जब किसी के साथ बैठे हैं तो मास्क लगाएं तो फायदा है।
Today, India's southern state of Karnataka, which is home to the tech city of Bengaluru, enters a 2-week lockdown. Groceries and other essential services will operate for 4 hours in the mornings. Bengaluru is a city of 20 million people. Its daily virus count is above 20,000. That makes it one of the worst hit cities in the country. The latest on this, Ishan Garg joins us from New Delhi. Ishan, help has started to arrive. How does the government in India plan to distribute all this help to the areas with the greatest need?
Well, the government hasn't put forward a formal plan yet of how it's going to distribute all this help. But what has become clear in the past few weeks, since the crisis started with the second wave of the virus, the government has laid out a sort of a blueprint of distributing resources in general, and it's expected that the resources that are coming from international countries will also be distributed along the same lines. So some of the most important things that are coming are going to be ventilators, oxygen concentrators, supplies of oxygen, as well as PPE kits and new testing kits. Now, US is sending some of these, UK is also sending some of these, and we're also receiving help from Singapore as well. And the way it's distributed is that the central government, the federal government draws up a quota of different states depending